Imagine a sound, not the gentle thud of a ball, nor the excited roar of a crowd, but a visceral thwack, a percussive explosion that vibrates through the very ground beneath your feet, signaling something monumental just occurred. This wasn't merely a tennis shot. It was a statement, a force of nature unleashed with pinpoint accuracy, capable of bending the will of the fiercest competitors. It heralded the arrival of a new, formidable presence on the hallowed courts of professional tennis, a phenomenon whose game seemed ripped from a future where power reigned supreme. This era, characterized by an almost primal display of athleticism and audacious stroke-making, found one of its most compelling champions in Matteo Berrettini, a name that would soon become synonymous with brute force tempered by Italian elegance. He carved a unique niche in a sport often dominated by nuanced finesse. His ascent wasn't just about winning matches. It was about rewriting the playbook, demonstrating that raw, unadulterated power, when wielded with precision and a relentless spirit, could dismantle even the most entrenched strategies. From the moment he stepped onto the global stage, Berrettini's presence was undeniable, a towering figure whose game roared louder than any crowd. He wasn't just playing tennis. He was reshaping it, serving up thunderbolts and forehands that felt less like strokes and more like weaponized art. The question wasn't if he would make an impact, but how quickly the tennis world would adapt to the sheer, overwhelming force he brought to every single point. Matteo Berrettini's journey from aspiring junior to global powerhouse was a masterclass in weaponizing the modern game. His enormous serve became his undeniable calling card, a towering delivery that seemed to defy the laws of physics, consistently clocking speeds well over 130 miles per hour with an incredible kick and slice. Opponents often described it as facing a cannonball barrage, having to guess its trajectory rather than react, rendering their returns a desperate attempt at survival. The sheer velocity combined with subtle placement made breaking his serve an almost Herculean task, often dictating the rhythm of entire matches from the first ball. But if his serve was the detonator, his forehand was the explosion, an absolute beast of a shot, wielded with a devastating blend of power and topspin. His forehand boasts a unique open stance backswing and explosive hip rotation, generating top-tier ball speed that often clocks over 100 miles per hour, rivaling the fastest ground strokes in men's tennis, capable of ripping winners from any corner of the court. This isn't just about strength. It's a biomechanical marvel, a symphony of kinetic energy transferring from the ground up, culminating in a violent whip of the wrist that sends the ball screaming across the net. Early in his career, Berrettini honed these weapons, steadily climbing the ADP rankings, first breaking into the top 100, then the top 50, announcing his presence with an aggressive, all-court game that prioritized controlled aggression. His performances at minor tournaments and ADP 250s started turning heads, with titles in Hungary and Stuttgart demonstrating his ability to convert his immense talent into tangible victories. These initial successes weren't flukes. They were the logical conclusion of a relentless work ethic combined with an increasingly sophisticated understanding of how to deploy his destructive arsenal. The tennis world began to realize that the young Italian wasn't just a big hitter. He was a strategic force, building points around his strengths and suffocating opponents with relentless pressure. As Berrettini's game matured, his natural affinity for fast surfaces, especially grass, became strikingly apparent, almost as if he was genetically engineered for the pristine green courts. The low bounce and quick pace of grass perfectly amplified his thunderous serve and flat, penetrating forehand, turning every game on his serve into a high-stakes chess match where he always held the opening advantage. His movement, surprisingly agile for his imposing stature, allowed him to cover the court effectively, enabling him to pounce on short balls and unleash his devastating ground strokes. Unlike most top tennis players, Berrettini didn't focus solely on tennis from a young age, actively participating in football and swimming until his early teens, which contributed to his exceptional all-around athleticism and explosive leg drive, a crucial component of his power game. This diverse athletic background endowed him with a unique blend of core strength, explosive power, and quick reflexes, attributes that translated seamlessly to the demands of professional tennis, particularly on the quick surfaces. This adaptability and raw athleticism made him a truly dangerous opponent on grass, often dictating play and forcing mistakes from even the most seasoned competitors. His breakout on grass wasn't just a coincidence. It was a convergence of his unique physical gifts and a playing style perfectly suited to exploit the characteristics of the surface. He went on to secure impressive victories on grass, winning the Queen's Club Championships in 2021, an iconic warm-up event for Wimbledon, further cementing his status as one of the elite grass court players. This triumph wasn't just a trophy. It was a declaration, signaling that the Italian hammer was ready to contend for the sport's biggest prizes. His consistent performances propelled him into the world's top 10, a monumental achievement that signified his arrival among the sport's absolute elite, a testament to his dedication, his formidable weapons, and his uncanny ability to perform under pressure on the grandest stages. The pinnacle of Matteo Berrettini's career trajectory arrived at the All-England Club in 2021 as he carved a path through the hallowed grass courts towards the Wimbledon final, a journey that captivated the tennis world. Each match was a demonstration of his burgeoning confidence, his serve and forehand dismantling challengers with brutal efficiency, leaving a trail of vanquished opponents in his wake. He navigated a treacherous draw, displaying mental fortitude and unwavering self-belief, pushing past seasoned veterans and rising stars alike, showing that his power game was not just formidable, but also sustainable under immense pressure. The roar of the crowd grew with each passing round, recognizing not just a powerful player, but a genuine contender, an athlete whose determination resonated deeply. Beyond his explosive game, Berrettini's intrinsic appeal lies in his unwavering work ethic and his genuinely likable personality, a refreshing blend of ferocity on court and humble grace off it. Fans were drawn to his calm demeanor, his respectful conduct, and the palpable passion he exuded for the sport, quickly transforming him into a fan favorite. Despite his intimidating on-court presence, Berrettini is known for a surprisingly calm and introspective off-court demeanor, often engaging in quiet contemplation or journaling to manage the immense psychological demands of professional tennis, a unique approach for a player of such physical intensity. This duality, the raw power juxtaposed with thoughtful composure, made him a compelling figure, representing a new generation that valued both athletic prowess and mental well-being. He wasn't just winning. He was inspiring, proving that dedication, humility, and an unrelenting drive could propel an athlete to the very summit of their chosen field, earning him a place not just in the top 10, but in the hearts of tennis enthusiasts worldwide. His presence on the final Sunday of Wimbledon was a milestone, a vivid testament to his ascent and the profound impact he had already made. The Wimbledon final, the dream, the culmination of years of relentless training, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief in his colossal game. Berrettini stood opposite Novak Djokovic, the defending champion and arguably the greatest player of all time, on a stage where legends are forged and dreams are tested to their absolute limits. The atmosphere was electric, a palpable tension woven into the fabric of center court, every serve, every forehand imbued with immense consequence. Berrettini, the audacious challenger, brought everything he had, unleashed his thunderous serve, pounded his forehand with piston-like ferocity, refusing to yield an inch. He took the first set, sending a shockwave through the tennis establishment, daring to believe, daring to push the narrative of an upset. Yet, as the match wore on, a chilling realization began to dawn, a subtly terrifying truth that transcends individual talent and monumental effort. Djokovic, with his almost supernatural ability to retrieve, to counter, to break down even the most relentless assault, began to systematically dismantle Berrettini's game. It wasn't about Berrettini faltering. It was about facing an almost inhuman wall of resilience, an opponent who seemed immune to even his most potent weapons. The eerie climax wasn't a sudden collapse, but a gradual, soul-crushing understanding that even a performance of his absolute peak might not be enough. The creepy moment was the cold, hard stare of reality. That there exists, for now, a frontier of tennis mastery that even his immense power, his explosive forehand, and his unwavering spirit couldn't breach. It was the silent, almost imperceptible feeling of confronting an inevitable force, a titan who simply refused to be beaten, a stark reminder of the brutal, unyielding standard at the very pinnacle of professional sport. Despite his monumental effort, Berrettini ultimately succumbed in 4 sets, a warrior who gave everything but faced an unyielding, almost supernatural force. Matteo Berrettini's journey proved that sheer power and relentless spirit can redefine a generation, even when faced with the sport's most unyielding challenges.